The Redevelopment Commission public meeting for December 5th, 2023 is now called to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please. Cheryl?
Mr. Carnahan?
Here.
Mr. Rivera? Here. Mr. Recupero?
Here.
Mr. Miller?
Present.
Ms. Sheehan? Here. Ms. Haskell? Mr. Vassar?
Here.
Mr. Sharp?
Here.
Mr. Foreman is absent. Ms. Sandberg? Here. Mr. Salatas is absent. Mr. Austin?
Present.
Ms. Heiduch is present.
If I may, point of clarification,
Yes.
Margaret Abernathy in for Chris Salatas.
Thank you, Margaret. We begin with the presentation, Explore Everyday Community Recognition. This month, it's for Tasty Top Grill. Jonathan and Mindy Buds are the owners. If you want to come up here and listen to, Julie's going to read the proclamation.
Thank you for being here. Dear Jonathan and Mindy, on behalf of the Redevelopment Commission of Cedar Lake, I would like to express our thanks to Tasty Top Grill for its service to Cedar Lake. The Tasty Top Grill started as a small Tasty Freeze in 1950, became Tasty Top in 1992, and you have transformed it into something more than when you took it over and became the Tasty Top Grill on September 1st, 2020. Our town motto is Explore Every Day. This has multiple meanings, but one of which I am convinced is to explore the features of the town and linger a while with friends, family, and business associates. Tasty Top Grill allows folks to purchase great food and ice cream treats to enjoy while they linger and visit with others at your location, or grab their order to go and enjoy lingering and visiting elsewhere in Cedar Lake. Tasty Top has actively given back to the town and its residents in many ways, such as providing meals for our public safety officers and sponsoring events and teams for our local organizations, schools, and athletic organizations. To that end, we remit a resolution of thanks to you and your team for all your hard work and dedication to Cedar Lake. Thank you for your contribution to Cedar Lake.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Would you like to all come down and take a picture with them?
All of us come
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
We'll get on the right side of the podium this time.
No,
I do it all the time. I do it all the time.
And I'll just say one thing about them. The rumor was going around that they were bought out by a developer, and they said if you want to know the truth, stop in and ask them.
That's right.
And it's not close.
That's right.
Where's the Gyros at? I thought you were forgetting the Gyros in that.
Well, it's right down the road afterwards. We'll stay open after the meeting.
All right, we're there.
All right, ready, guys? Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. If you want to.
Yeah, if you want.
I'll keep it short. Thank you.
That's fine. That's great.
I'll give you a speech, man.
I like to
I just want to thank the town. I want to thank everybody. We've had this place for 3.5 years, and we keep going strong, and it's due to the residents and everyone here, and we really appreciate the support, and keep supporting small local businesses. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We move on to the consent agenda, approval of the October 3rd, 2023 regular meeting minutes. Number 2, claims, fund number 404, $1,336.64. Fund number 804, $125,648.79. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a
motion to approve. Motion by Ralph,
I'll second.
second by Julie. Questions? Roll call?
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Ms. Rivera?
Yes.
Mr. Recupero?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Sharp?
Yes. Motion carries 6-0.
Rick, you missed
What did we miss?
the presentation.
No, that's in the town council.
That's a
Yeah,
town
that's-
council. Isn't it?
Mine says redevelopment.
The presentation was the Tasty Top Award.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay. I was thinking it was,
Yeah.
never mind. I'm
That's
sorry.
okay, Ralph, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, hey.
There'll be plenty of things.
Yeah, okay, wrong presentation. Okay.
Okay, under new business, ratification of funding sources for the Moore Street Water Main Project. Jennifer, do you want to speak to
So
this?
this is just a, kind of a continuation. We had this at both your last utility board and town council meeting in an effort to, kind of comply with the further documentation that the State Board of Accounts would like to see related to these large capital improvement projects. We want to make sure that everyone is on the same page with all of the funding sources for the anticipated costs related to projects. So I wanted to bring back before all of the appropriate boards the ratification of the funding sources for the Moore Street Water Main Extension. Total project costs, which include not only the construction, appraisals, easements, engineering, and construction observation cost is $962,747.75. Of that, we anticipate Fund 804, which is the TIF fund, to provide $276,057.75.
Would you repeat that again, please?
$276,057.75. The remainder will be out of Fund 644, which is the Water Development Fund.
Thank you, Jennifer.
And I'm gonna just throw something out, it maybe doesn't apply to this, but for the benefit of the audience, I've had a number of people asking me, are we putting a road in across the street from here? I checked with staff here, and they're putting a sewer line in to Schilling's development of Lakeside for the 550 homes. Just so if any of you are wondering what that is.
Very good. Thank you, Bob.
Yep.
Do we have a motion to approve the ratification?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Julie,
I'll second it.
second by Ralph. Roll call?
Mr. Carnahan?
Yes.
Mr. Rivera?
Yes.
Mr. Recupero?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Ms. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Sharp?
Yes. Motion carries 6-0. Written communications, I don't believe there are any. Did Chris leave anything, Margaret, for written communications?
No, sir, he
Okay.
did not.
Thank you. Move to public comment. Public comment, once, twice. Seeing no public comment, this meeting's adjourned. Town council public meeting will begin in about 15 minutes. Okay? Thank you. Town Council public meeting for December 5th, 2023 is called to order. Please stand for the pledge and a moment of silence. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, Jen?
Robert Carnahan?
Here.
Julie Rivera? Here. Nick Recipido?
Here.
Ralph Miller?
Present.
Colleen Scheeman? Here. John Foreman is absent. Richard Sharp?
Here.
I am present. Chris Salatis is absent. David Austin?
Present.
And just to note, Margaret Bernasty, Administrative Assistant to the Town Manager, is present this evening.
Thank you. We begin tonight with a presentation of the new town hall, and we have Veritas Group and KTM presenting.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So my name is Eric Prose. I'm here representing K2M Design and DS Architecture.
David Rainey with Veritas Group, owner's representative for the town.
Any questions before I get started? I can just walk you through the packet you have in front of you, if you'd like.
I have one comment just for the council. So this is an update only, so there's no action being requested from the council, so just an update.
Very good, thank you.
So a little background, I've had the chance to work with your police and fire department so far in their new facilities. I've been working with K2M as part of that, along with Veritas Group, so it's been a pleasure to work with your community so far on those projects. And we're here to talk a little bit today about some of the work we've been doing with your town hall. So the screen is going to show you the same things that you have in front of you printed there, so if the public would like to look, we've got that to follow along. But I'll start off kind of orient us to the site here just a little bit. So the images you're looking at in front of you should be pretty clear, hopefully. There you go. So the red image there is representing the fire stations right on the corner of Morse and Constitution. As we come down the hill heading west, we've got the police station next, and then we're proposing the orange space there would be the new town hall facility. And then the green area there we're looking at would be the existing facility we're in today, would be returned in some kind of capacity to a park or a green space, potentially relocating some of the playground equipment, but that's sort of an unknown at this point. But it opens that space up to be used in a more useful manner for the public. So what we're trying to do is keep the buildings kind of similar scale, similar kind of footprint for those, so they relate back to the fire and police buildings. And also trying to keep it as close as we can to the south side of the site to preserve as much of the green space as we possibly can. And kind of, looking at the footprints here, the new 11,000 square foot footprint is actually smaller than the existing 13,000 square foot footprint of this building. So it's a net gain for some of the green space. We're trying to really be conscious about opening that back up for the public use. It is a two-story building, but as it kind of comes down the hillside, the council chambers is a taller vaulted space, and then the second half of it is some more offices upstairs. So that 11,000 square foot is just the footprint on the site. There's also another 6,000 square feet on top that is more offices and conference room spaces, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. The next image will show you kind of an isometric view that kind of gives you a little better sense of the scale of the building. So this is kind of a bird's eye view looking from the southeast. At the development there, you'll see on the bottom right side of the screen is the new police and fire facilities, and that new town hall a little closer to the lake as we come down the hill. So again, working with some of the same kind of forms, same general scale of the building, a lot of the same materials too that we'll talk about here. We've got some parking along Constitution Avenue there for daily visitors, but again, really leveraging that existing parking lot to the rear for larger functions. Next image, we'll just flip our isometric view to the other side, so this gives us the chance to sort of see the back of the building. But because it's got parking on both sides, there really is no back. So we treated that side as well to be very welcoming to the public and making sure we can accommodate larger gatherings. So the next image we'll look at are some of the materials, and these are images that are the ones that we're using on the existing facility. If you've driven by police or fire stations lately, you'll see some of the brick going up. You'll see some of that stone going up. None of the wood paneling is up quite yet, but what we're trying to do here is work with some natural materials that kind of connect back to some of the icons of the town and some of the logos. So trying to be sensitive to the idea of cedar as a material as well to connect back and sort of make sure it feels at home in this community. And so the new town hall will also pick up on some of those same materials. The next image we have are a few exterior elevations and sort of long kind of section views through that street. So it gives you a sense of the scale, again, how the elevations of both buildings start to work together. The very top image there, you'll see the police and fire stations again on the right side. And so this would be looking north as if my back were to, you know, the Lighthouse Restaurant, kind of looking at that street there. And this view would never really be possible because there's so many trees and things in the way, but just to give you a sense of how, you know, we're sort of working this building into the landscape so it's not overwhelming, and it relates back to those other existing facilities as well. The bottom image there is a kind of a rendering of where, you know, you'd be driving into that visitor parking lot. Gives you a sense of kind of the way some of those materials work and how that entry operates. Next side is looking at the back side of the building. So this is the north side of the building. So if my back were facing toward the park, this would be the elevation I'd be seeing. So again, thinking about this building as being a public facility with entrances on both sides, you know, we want to make sure that that is very welcoming to the public both ways. So the entryway is very clear. We've got some signage there to help delineate where the public would enter. And then you can sort of see some of the materials and their placement there as well. In the bottom image there, we'll come back to this in a moment, but we've also got the opportunity here because, you know, some of the views open up to the lake there. We've got a multi-purpose space we could use for public use and some outdoor spaces that would be associated with that. So it's sort of an elevated, hardscape kind of patio space outdoors that would face toward the lake. So a nice amenity there for the community. Next, I'll walk us through some of the plans of the building. And they're color-coded, so hopefully we can kind of talk about them as departments. If there's any questions, we can certainly talk about each of the spaces, but for the sake of time, I thought I'd just kind of keep it high level here. So the plan that's on the bottom of your sheet is the first floor plan, and we'll start on the right side. So it's kind of a pinkish color, showing up good on the screen too. So that is the council chambers and some of the associated spaces with that. So, you know, the room we're in now. And then we're thinking about having, you know, sort of an executive session space that you could have that meeting before or after council chambers directly off that space, and it has its own restroom too, so that if you have a prolonged meeting, you've got the you know, confidentiality and security you need for that space. On the other side of the hall there, we've got a room for table and chair storage and some IT spaces as well. So basically everything you need for that public function is there on the right side of that plan. Right down the middle, there's kind of an orangish space, and that's kind of the public lobby, right? And again, we have doors on both sides of the building, so you can come in from the north or south into that kind of common lobby space. So we've got some space there for gathering before and after meetings, or you know, any kind of public engagement there. And then the other orange spaces there are also some bathrooms, right, for public use. So those are dedicated toward that public function, as well as an elevator, all those core, you know, uses that you need for the public to use. So we come across the screen, there's some green spaces there. That's really geared toward the Treasury Department. We've got some space on the upstairs too for some storage and some other offices, but again, just kind of some office space for them. And then on the far end of the building, furthest to the west, we've got the Parks and Rec Department, so all of their spaces there are shown in blue. And then lastly, the bottom kind of left corner is that multi-purpose room. So we've got it shown here with some sort of tables and chairs, but could be used for other public outreachers or, you know, civic engagement of that nature. As we jump up to the top plan here, again, you'll notice the far white side there is open, so that's going to be sort of a higher ceiling for the council chambers, so there's no floor there. But as we come across, we've got the building and planning department next. It's in kind of a greenish sort of mint color there. We've got those spaces directly off the hallway. Coming across some of those purple spaces there are more kind of lunchrooms, break rooms, staff spaces for printing, copying, those sorts of functions. The green, again, is dedicated for the treasury use and some of the private offices for that. And then lastly is the admin department, shown kind of in the darker orange color there. So, you know, working toward keeping the departments together, giving them spaces that they can collaborate, but also building, you know, the building very efficiently, so we've got circulation that's shared with as many of those departments as possible.
Is there any kind of elevator in this?
There sure is, yep. So,
Okay.
yep, if you were looking at the first floor, that kind of orange bar there. Oh, you got it. Thank you. Yep.
That's good to know, because
Yep.
somebody that may need that.
You got it, you got it. Yeah, any other questions on the plan? I can pause for a moment if you have any thoughts, or... what I have next are just some more images of the exterior, so we can kind of talk about those quickly here. The next slide, this again shows a little more embellished look, a little nicer rendered version of that kind of entry sequence. So this is about coming down Constitution, from the top of the hill facing west. This would be that kind of visitor parking lot area with a drop-off box for any kind of, bills that need to be paid, other things that need to be dropped off, as well as that kind of main public entrance. And so again, trying to pull it as close as we can to the south side of the site to preserve green space, but making it feel like a proper public building and providing some parking there as well. And you'll see some of those materials again kind of showing up, very similar treatment, looking at the stone and brick and wood materials. Next image shows a similar view, but this would be as if my back were to the lake, and I'm sort of, I'm near the Lighthouse Restaurant looking back at the building, so again, you can see that kind of outdoor space that could be allocated toward, public functions, and that multi-use space could open out directly onto it. So we've got a lot of glass there, and those doors could be used to sort of connect for any kind of function you may have there. And we're looking at this space, this building really has no back because, you've either got the park, the road, or, as you know, people in the lake have a view of the building as well. So we want to make sure that we treated the building in a way that looked good from all sides. So we've got the wood wrapping around the stone at the base that really kind of gives it that, stability you want to see out of a public building, but we didn't want it to look overbearing either. Next image is kind of as we walk around the building, we're looking kind of at that same sort of end of the building, but this is where my back would be more toward, some of the boat docks and the rest of the parking area there. Excuse me. And you can see again how the materials come through to kind of lighten up the feel of the building. Here, because the hill comes down, this is sort of the largest the building will look because it's coming out of the ground a little bit, but try to soften that with some of the terraced outdoor landscape spaces, and again, working with some of the same looks as the police and fire. And then the last image here shows kind of as I come up the hill toward the kind of police station, would be sort of toward my right, or sorry, my left. And again, this is the back of the building, but really we want it to be open and accessible to the public as well. So I'll take some questions here in a moment, but just want to kind of recap that, this is sort of the first, maybe 10 to 20% of the project, and we did just enough to sort of establish the program, see how the site would work through some of the plans at a high level, just to kind of understand what the site can do for us, and maybe what that might look like. I don't know, David, do you want to talk a little about some next steps maybe?
Yeah. So from here, next steps for the project should it move forward. Obviously, we've got the design team on board. We've completed the conceptual design. We're well into schematic design. So the next step is really to continue design forward. But most importantly is to establish the delivery method, so how we're going to construct it. Just thinking if it were to be the same process that we're doing with the police and fire, that's using the build, operate, transfer, which is statute 532. And we would need to, probably about 2 to 3 months to get that completed. And then once we have that BOT team on board, that developer team on board, the next immediate step would really be to validate, before we move any further, would be to validate the schematic design and the cost with that developer team. Once that is completed and we know we're in the right cost, we have the right design, then at that point, really, we continue the design process, finishing schematic design, going into design development, and then finally into the construction document phase, all while the construction team continues to do cost analysis through that project. Then we'll establish a guaranteed maximum price and then finalize the BOT agreement. That process is probably about a 10-month period or so, and then at that point, once we have the BOT agreement finalized and the guaranteed maximum price, then you could actually start construction. So that we're probably talking, if we were to start at the beginning of the year, let's just say, that would be probably Q1 of 25 would be when we would actually start the project, and probably a 12 to 14 month construction period, so Q1 of 26 would be the substantial completion. Of course, there's a lot of variables there with time and process to get through, but those are the general high-level next steps of the project. So, and with that, if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer anything you might have.
Anybody?
I have a question. So you said that, like, the footprint of this building, so the first level, is smaller than the footprint of this building? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's kind of tough to tell here. The image, there's some roof overhangs as you saw in the graphics, so it looks a little bigger, but the footprint of the building is actually a little smaller. So it's 11,000 square feet of actual, land area that we take. But because we do have the second story, we can kind of fit more of those departments in there. Yep.
So we probably got more room with the second floor than what we have here.
Absolutely,
Double.
certainly, yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. Jen, you got anything?
No, it was a really great process working with everybody. It was pretty exciting to see the idea kind of come to life. I think everybody worked well together in discussing, priority of the need. We just, it's unfortunate, we've just outgrown this building. We have no space here for being able to do the daily business, being able to fit our personnel appropriately, being able to fit storage. That was kind of one of the most important things to me, was not only making sure our people had space, but making sure we had an appropriate records room.
Yeah.
Because as much as everybody tries to move to electronic, we're just required to keep hard copies of so many things.
State board likes to see hard copies, don't they?
They sure
Yes, they
do.
Yep, they
And that's,
surely do.
and that's actually the other thing I can speak to, is when State Board of Accounts comes in for their audits, we're required to have space for them.
Yeah, required.
And unfortunately, it was trying to schedule the use of this meeting room, because this is where we had to put them, because we don't have anywhere on the town hall side to put them, and then to give them the appropriate paperwork, and then my staff was required to clean up this room, at the end of the day, because we had other meetings, occurring at night, and it prolonged that period. It was difficult.
Yeah, no, I know.
Next year, we won't have that problem, hopefully.
But the year after, we will.
Yeah, but we will be taking over the police department's building.
Well, but again, that's also however council chooses to utilize the space. Those are further discussions that council will have to have, but I mean, that's also gonna take some time in order, if we were to move forward with trying to utilize that space, it takes some time to get everything configured.
Sure. Anybody else, Dave, you?
There's nowhere in the code or in the regs to say they have to be comfortable.
No, I understand.
That's true.
That's harsh.
Listen, you just described our difficulties, so you can match up to it.
Yeah.
Mr. Sharp, you got a few audience, would you allow them to ask
While the
some questions?
gentlemen are here, are we able to ask questions about?
Just a couple short ones, yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that you utilize the flat roof in the building. Sometimes they have issues. How are you addressing that so that there aren't going to be flat roof issues?
That's a good question,
in
yeah.
construction?
The renderings may be a little misleading. None of the roofs are really flat. They have a pretty substantial, actually have a pretty substantial pitch on them. Some of the elevations might give you a better sense of it, but they're very similar to what the police and fire are doing, so they're sort of a low slope roof.
Okay, and there's no gutters on them, it just runoff?
No, there's gutters, yeah.
There are,
There's gutters
okay. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. And these are very early renderings, we didn't put the downspouts on and all that
Okay,
detail, but.
one other question.
Sure.
There's a little beige house right on the corner here, and I noticed that in your renderings that there is no house there anymore. Is that going with the playground?
I don't believe that that's part of this plan. I think that could
So
be
it's just gonna butt right up against
Well, if you look at
building?
so we kind of have that terraced landscape area that right now is really a little underdeveloped, but we'll have a soft scape that kind of buffers that, so it'll be a landscaped kind of
So that would
space
be on the
between
west side of the
the west
building?
side, yeah.
The house is still there.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, that was why I was asking.
Sure, yeah. And I don't know
By
the
another
future.
entity.
But the pictures don't show that.
Yeah, I didn't want to take the liberty of showing their house, I didn't know what the future of that held, but we want to focus on our project.
If you look, when you have a moment, when you look at the site plan there, you can see the town hall and the position of the house, the existing house. So you can see the orientation of what that looks like.
Yeah, and it butts right up against the east, border of the town.
But again, that would be, so I'm showing it as kind of concrete right now, but we're thinking more like a patio or an outdoor space, probably landscape. We didn't get to that kind of level
So
of
no
detail.
arborvitae or anything to screen off?
We can certainly have that conversation, if that's something that, a little privacy probably would be a good idea for both.
I would think so.
And again, these are very conceptual, we just
I understand.
basically got out of conceptual, there's really been no landscape design or anything. So we'd have to take all that into consideration, so, good thoughts, though, thank you.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
from doing the police project, I can tell you it's gonna change about 57 times, so.
Yeah, absolutely, for the better though.
It just changes it does, because you realize you need to do this, or you have to do this, then they wanna put
Yeah,
more
it's
parking
just
here.
like a draft.
Yeah.
Part of the process.
Yep.
Part of the process.
Rick,
Change the draft.
you have another. One quick one, sir.
The question I have is, I was wondering, did you guys ever consider going north from the fire department on Morse to create a better sound barrier from the traffic that'll be showing on being that it's gonna be a public park lakefront area, I know they talked about a concert show and stuff like that. Would going north from the fire department going north on Morris, would that property being higher and more level, was that ever considered?
Go ahead, Margaret, Chief.
That actually was considered at the outset, but it is less costly for us to line up with the police and the fire departments due to sewer and water mains and so forth. And when it was discussed by the beginning committee, basically, it was felt that we would take too much view of the lake away from the town and the residents if we were to go to where we had talked about, or where you're talking about.
So
It
that
was
was a
considered.
consideration in the first phase?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, just to build off that, we're working to pull as much of that construction as far south as possible, to keep those views open and preserve as much of that green space and sort of make it contiguous instead of chopping it up so much, so, great thought though, yeah.
Yep. Okay. Thank you, gentlemen.
We appreciate it.
Thank you very much, yeah, for coming up, and you both come from Indianapolis, or?
I did,
He's right here, isn't he?
Yep, I'm here I'm Cleveland, but K2M is from Indiana.
He's a Buckeye.
Don't take it.
All right, well, safe trip home, everybody. Thank you.
Hey, Tim said he's coming in office, he's got 2 trucks.
You got it.
We move to public hearing, resolution number 1342, additional appropriation. Jennifer, review of legals.
Council members, the notice was published timely on 11/22/23 in both the Times and the Post Tribune.
Thank you. Opening remarks.
So this is an additional appropriation. This is an additional appropriation for both the general fund and the motor vehicle highway fund. For the general fund, we are requesting within the planning, zoning, and building department, $20,000. That is for $5,000 within personnel services for their salaries and wages, and other services and charges, $15,000. That is for increased professional consulting or attorney needs. Within the fire department, we are requesting $41,200. That is for $10,000 within personal services. That is due to part-time and overtime. Other services and charges, $31,200. That is for a major repair that needed to occur on the engine, as well as professional services. Within motor vehicle highway, $5,000 within their personnel services for salaries and wages.
Okay. Reading of resolution number 1342. Julie, please. By title only, there's not much there.
Resolution 1342. Whereas it has been determined that it is necessary to appropriate more money than was originally appropriated in the annual budget.
Thank you, Julie. Any remonstrators to Resolution 1342? Remonstrators? Town council discussion? We have discussion?
I have none, sir.
Okay. Nothing? Okay. Town council decision. Do I have a motion to approve Resolution 1342?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Carnahan,
I'll second.
second by Julie. Questions? Roll call.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Nick Recupido?
Yes.
Ralph Miller?
Yes.
Colleen Scheven?
Yes.
Richard Sharp?
Yes. Motion carries 6-0. We move to public comment on agenda items only. Public comment, agenda items only. Agenda items only. Move to the consent agenda. Minutes for November 21st, 2023. Claims, all town funds, $422,586.81. Wastewater operating, $70,399.03. Water utility, $52,738.27. Stormwater, $48,721.28. And payroll, 11/22/23 and 12/1/23, $291,101.74. Motion to waive the reading of the minutes and approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Julie,
I'll second it.
second by Ralph. Questions? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Nick Recupido?
Yes.
Ralph Miller?
Yes.
Colleen Scheven?
Yes.
Richard Sharp?
Yes. Motion carries 6-0. Ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 1481, 2024 salary ordinance. Jennifer, if you would, oh, I'm sorry. Julie, could you read this ordinance 1481 by title only?
Ordinance number 1481, an ordinance amending town salary ordinance number 1436, establishing jobs and salaries to be paid certain officers, positions, and jobs within the town of Cedar Lake for the year 2024, and repealing all ordinances or parts thereof in conflict therewith.
Thank you, Julie. Jennifer, you want to explain?
Sure. So for a majority of positions, the increase that was contemplated in the 2024 budget was a 3% increase. Due to the conversations that were had as we went through the budget process, I did not include an increase for town council. So there's no increase for town council in there unless you direct otherwise. We did also include the bump in the battalion chief pay that was requested by Chief Wilkening. We also included the position of the deputy IT/GIS coordinator, and we also included the increase for the mechanics position. Department heads are slated for a 5% increase. For the other boards and commissions, we did also do the 3% for them. Really, those are the highlights I have for you, unless anybody has a specific question for me.
Questions?
So we've discussed this before, and I've had, I'm not 100% sold on the GIS coordinator and mechanics position. I'm not against it, but we had talked about this, that this is still up to the council next year to
Yes.
decide.
So we're, as with everything, until we have an approved budget order in hand, nobody's doing anything. So once we receive the budget order, that's when we move forward with implementing, salary increases, what have you. But ultimately, you are the town council. So whereas we have the positions and the discussed salaries and wages in here, ultimately, you guys are the authority. So if you don't want us to move forward with hiring, then that's a conversation you have with town administration.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer.
There's two different schedules on vacation, on holidays.
One is for what we say is the civilian holiday schedule, and then the other one is the holidays observed for the fire department. It's always had two in your salary ordinance.
Thank you. Any other questions? No, sir. Do we have a motion to approve ordinance 1481, or to adopt 14, or to approve 1481?
First reading.
First reading. We have a motion for the first reading.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Julie.
I'll second.
Second by Nick. Questions? Roll call, Jim.
Robert Carnahan?
I'm gonna say no, so we can't do 2 readings at one night.
I don't know if we're going to anyway. Would we, Dave, if we went 6? Is 6 enough, or?
Oh, if it's unanimous,
It's unanimous.
first reading consideration, then you can take the adopted reading.
I see.
If not, then Bob's
Okay.
motion prevents that.
Okay.
Or a vote, I'm sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Nick Recupido?
Yes.
Ralph Miller?
Yes.
Colleen Scheeben?
Yes.
Richard Sharp?
Yes.
If I may just
Motion.
add, I would request that we do make sure to have the second reading on your next agenda, because then you put my staff really close to the line. There's a
For
lot of
your
work
end, yeah.
that has to be
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, absolutely. Understood. Motion carries 5-1. We'll be on the next, December 19th, I believe, is the meeting date. Ordinance 1482, job description amendments. Jennifer, roll call, or no roll call. Julie, you want to read by title only, please?
Ordinance 1482, an ordinance amending Town Ordinance 1150 as amended from time to time, being an ordinance establishing job employment descriptions for the employees of the Town of Cedar Lake, repealing all ordinances with Town Code sections or portions thereof in conflict herewith, including Town Ordinance Number 1064 and all matters related hereto, amending the job descriptions of mechanic, custodian, town utility billing clerk, utility accounting specialist, and creating the job description of deputy IT GIS coordinator of the town, and all matters related thereto.
Thank you, Julie. Jennifer, you want to?
Sure. So this is the creation of the job description for that deputy IT/GIS coordinator position. But again, we don't have to fulfill that until you guys direct to do so. It also includes updates to the job descriptions for the mechanic, the custodian, town utility billing clerk, utility accounting specialist. This was just to clean up some language. There were some grammatical errors within the job description. Does anybody have any specific questions for me on
Any questions?
anything?
The only thing we're doing here, we're defining what these jobs are, but we're not hiring anybody.
But yes, we're just updating those descriptions. And as I said, with the salary ordinance, this just kind of puts everything into place for you, so that once you're ready to move forward, we're good to go, and we don't have to, we just have everything in place. But ultimately, you guys are the authority.
Thank you, Jen. Any other questions? Seeing none, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to pass the first reading of ordinance number 1482.
Motion by Mr. Carnahan,
I'll second.
second by Julie. Roll call?
Robert Carnahan?
Yes?
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Nick Recupido?
Yes.
Ralph Miller?
Yes.
Colleen Scheeben?
Yes.
Richard Sharp?
Yes, motion carries 6-0. We can move to suspend the rules. Okay. You have a motion to suspend the rules,
So
so
move.
motion by Mr. Carnahan,
I'll second.
second by Julie. Roll call?
Robert Carnahan? Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Nick Recupido?
Yes.
Ralph Miller?
Yes.
Colleen Scheeben?
Yes.
Richard Sharp?
Yes, motion carries 6-0. Ordinance 1482 by title only. Julie?
Ordinance number 1482, an ordinance amending Town Ordinance number 1150 as amended from time to time, being an ordinance establishing job employment descriptions for the employees of the Town of Cedar Lake, repealing all ordinances and Town Code sections or portions thereof in conflict herewith, including Town Ordinance number 1064 and all matters related thereto, amending the job descriptions of mechanic, custodian, town utility billing clerk, utility accounting specialist, and creating the job description of deputy IT GIS coordinator for the town, and all matters related thereto.
Thank you,
Motion to approve and adopt ordinance number 1482.
Motion by Mr. Carnahan,
I'll second it.
Second by Ralph. Roll call.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Nick Recupido?
Yes.
Ralph Miller?
Yes.
Colleen Scheven?
Yes.
Richard Sharp?
Yes. 1482 is hereby adopted. Thank you, everybody. Moving to number 3, Resolution 1343. Julie, by title only, please.
Resolution number 1343, a resolution authorizing appropriation transfers by the clerk treasurer for the following funds during the budget year of 2023.
Thank you. Jennifer? That's all right. Take your time.
So this is a transfer resolution for transfers within the general fund. The total transfers I am requesting is $53,500. Under the town council's department budget, total transfers are $47,500. That is $35,000 from appropriation 121, which is group health, to 311 attorney, $5,000 from 121 group health to 396 miscellaneous services, $6,500 from 121 group health to 398, which is promotion, and $1,000 from 121 group health to 212 postage. We're also seeking transfers of $6,000 within the fire department. That's $5,000 from 117 volunteer stipend to 313 professional services, and $1,000 from 117 volunteer stipend to 396 miscellaneous services. These transfers are to help clean up some overages within these line items.
One question, the group health, we had extra money in there that we were able to use to transfer in the first category?
Yes, sir. We were fortunate this year that Anthem renewed us without an increase. I don't anticipate that for next year, but we were very fortunate this year.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, yeah. Thank you, Jen. Any other questions? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number
1343?
1343.
Thank you, Bob. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Julie. Roll call?
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Nick Recupido?
Yes.
Ralph Miller?
Yes.
Colleen Scheven?
Yes.
Richard Sharp?
Yes. Motion carries 6-0. Move to new business, adoption of the sustainability plan update. Jennifer is, what do we have on this?
I thought Corby was online, but he's no longer online.
We got bored.
I'll do my best if you have questions. As far as I'm aware, there were no comments heard since your last meeting, and so the sustainability plan as previously presented remains the same.
So this is pretty much it, okay.
I do have some concerns. I had residents reaching out to me looking for this. Margaret, I reached out to you, you clarified it was posted the day after, as you said it would be. But I would like for people to have a chance to review this a little more. Is it out of line to defer this item, Dave? No, we're not in a big rush with it.
This can be adopted anytime.
This is sustainability,
Yeah.
it's not budget or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is an overview of your financials and anticipated future, regarding whether it's revenues we anticipate, expenditures we anticipate. It's more of a roadmap for the council to use for the future years. We do utilize it to an extent when we're doing the budget process or when we're discussing capital needs, capital projects, but ultimately it's just a guide.
Okay.
Just a
There's a
tool,
lot of
it's just
assumptions in there.
just a tool,
Yes,
yeah.
Sure.
yes, sir, because as you can see, within there, Corby makes assumptions on projected revenues, but I mean, ultimately, until we receive those revenues, we just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right, and it's been online for 2 weeks, right, Margaret?
It went online on November 22nd.
Thank you for doing that.
If anybody in the public's having an issue navigating our website, they can reach out to Margaret or myself, and we can help them.
Yeah, I even had a problem navigating it, so I was
Did you
just,
find it though?
I found it with Margaret's direction.
Okay.
And it wasn't hidden, it's just I wasn't looking in the right spot.
place,
So
yeah.
there was some confusion on my part and some of the residents.
Yeah, so residents can just call town hall, and we'd be happy to help them navigate to the documents.
Okay,
And for anybody looking for documents like that, you're going to want to expand the community bracket on the town webpage up at the top and go to town forms, and then they will be separated by, like budget, clerk treasurer's office, various departments or whatever. And it is on there as the 2023 preliminary sustainability plan. Once the final is approved, that will also go on the website, and that will just read 2023 sustainability plan. But it is the same exact document. The only difference is it is now signed as a complete final document by our company representative.
Thanks, Margaret.
Once we adopt it, that after we adopt it, meeting.
Would you be opposed to opening up a motion to defer this to
No,
the
you
next
want to make a
meeting?
motion to defer?
Yeah, if I could, please.
Yeah.
To, was it December 19th?
December
Yes.
19th is the next meeting.
Okay, I'll make a motion to defer this item till December 19th.
Motion by Nick, second by Bob to defer till December 19th. Roll call?
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
No.
Nick Vercupido?
Yes?
Ralph Miller?
Yes.
Colleen Sheehan?
Yes.
Richard Sharp?
Yes. Motion carries 5-1, deferral till December 19th.
Thank you, Mr. President.
We move to the 2024 meeting calendar. Anybody want to, I guess it's just the meeting calendar, and it's just the same.
It's a ministerial act because we
Yeah.
have to provide, to the newspapers, the meeting schedule for next year by December 31st.
Sure.
So this is basically all taking the days that normally our meetings fall on and plugging them in. And this would not take anything away from the new council should they decide to change something.
change it, sure.
We would just update it and then re-advertise.
Chief Fisher? At the Board of Safety meeting, you mentioned maybe some issues with Board of Safety,
Yeah.
meeting. Do we still have problems with that, or?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's showing December us have not having a board safety meeting, so
So-
we would have to adjust and move it.
Historically, whenever the Board of Safety or the Police Commission fell on December 25th, you guys did not have a meeting, so that's what we went with. And the one that is in November actually falls the week after Thanksgiving.
Well,
That's still up to you
So-
guys.
yeah, I mean, we can amend it next year, I suppose.
Or if a meeting is needed, schedule a special meeting. That's easily done.
Yeah, at the board of safety meeting, I asked them if they were open to moving the meeting to a different date since it fell on Christmas, and they were open to whatever was decided on to move that meeting so that we can still have our normal monthly meeting.
Well, can we defer this item and have some discussion on this?
Well, there again, it's just suggested dates, and if we could go ahead and approve this and then make changes in the future.
If that's the route you want to go, that's,
Well, and truth be told, you do have two expirations and a vacant seat on the Board of Safety. So if you're wanting to make that change, it might be best to wait until next year and you have a full Board of Safety, get their input, and then what they do is they make a request to the town council, because the town council does set the meeting agenda.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
You-
that makes sense.
Everybody's cool with that?
Does that
Yeah.
cover
And
it?
when these are put together, there are copies of them out there on the counter. So anybody that, if you're not aware, you can get these meeting schedules out there on the counter.
And they will be updated for
Right.
2024.
And while we're saying that, a number of residents were asking me about when they put their recycling out. And then Margaret took me out there and showed me those are out there on the counter also, that tells what day, the east side and west side get their garbage recycling done. So, and there'll be a new one out come the first of the year, correct?
Yes,
Traditionally, we get that schedule from Republic Services, and then we update our website, and we also update the copies that we leave on the front desk. But again, if any residents should ever have questions, they're more than welcome to contact Town Hall, and staff's happy to help them navigate. Because a lot of times people, especially people who aren't used to our area, they don't know what those dividing lines are. They don't understand, it's a big lake in the middle of our beautiful town. So we've got no problem looking at a map and helping them figure it out.
And the map is on the back side of it. And also, since Christmas is on a Monday, I'm assuming that there won't be garbage pickup on that Monday.
No, there will not be.
Right. So just a
It'll be
little
Tuesday.
heads up on that.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Do we have a motion to approve? I guess we're gonna do that, right?
I'm okay with that, Mr. President, if it's up to the board.
Approve the
but, yeah.
2024 meeting calendar? Do we have a motion? Motion by Mr. Carnahan,
I'll second.
second by Julie. Roll call?
Robert Carnahan?
Yes?
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Nick Recupedo?
Yes.
Ralph Miller?
Yes.
Colleen Scheven?
Yes.
Richard Sharp?
Yes, motion carries 6-0. Number 3, Christopher Bell, change order number 1 with a cost increase in the amount of $39,534.60 for a revised total of $1,835,496.37 for the Shade Subdivision Improvements Phase 1 project. Jennifer, yes, just,
So this change order is for an increase of $39,534.60, and this change order is for additional sanitary sewer main work.
thank you.
Disappointed to find out we've been getting a lot of them where they've been reducing.
I know, yeah, well, we can't get fortunate all the time, but
So,
you're right, though. Do we have a motion to approve the change order?
so moved.
Motion by Mr. Carnahan,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Miller. Roll call?
Robert Carnahan?
Yes?
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Nick Recupedo?
Yes.
Ralph Miller?
Yes.
Colleen Scheven?
Yes.
Richard Sharp?
Yes, motion carries 6-0. Christopher Bell pay request number 2, payable to Milestone Inc. in the amount of $356,919.66 for the Shade Subdivision Improvements Phase 1. This is just
This is
normal.
for work completed
For
and
work
observed
done?
to
Okay.
date. This pay request is for Milestone and in the day of the month.
Thank you, Jen. Question? Motion by Mr. Carnahan,
I'll second.
second by Nick. Roll call, Jen.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes?
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Nick Recupedo?
Yes.
Ralph Miller?
Yes.
Colleen Scheven?
Yes.
Richard Sharp?
Yes, motion carries 6-0. Approval of fire department hires, approved by the Board of Safety on 11/29/23. Chief, I'll turn this over to you, if you would, please.
I'd like to introduce Colin Turner, if you wouldn't mind standing up. He'll be our next, one of our next firefighter EMTs currently. He'll be testing out on the paramedic
Very good.
test here pretty soon, so he'll be one of our paramedic firefighters.
Oh, that's super.
He comes with some experience. Why don't you tell us a little bit about you and the council?
Started in 2012 as an EMT, got my firefighting certs in 2013 going into 2014. I worked part-time and volunteer with Crown Point Fire Department. I worked at Prompt Ambulance, worked at Cherville Fire Department, and also worked for the steel mill in East Chicago on their fire
Oh,
department.
wow, okay.
So I've been around,
Yeah.
worked for Elite Ambulance as well. It's been interesting. I've got 3 small boys. They're 8, 6, and 5. So I did take some time off to raise them because childcare is very expensive.
Yeah.
And I'd like to,
Super.
wanted to raise them the way I thought they ought to be. But it's been an interesting experience. I look forward to coming here. It's a beautiful town and it's growing a lot. I'd like to be part of that growth.
Okay, very good.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you.
for having me.
Yeah, no.
He's actually this is not an additional hire, this is also, replacement.
Replacement, sure.
Yeah, all of them tonight that we're gonna discuss will be replacements.
Okay, very good.
The second, full-time hire would be Jose Magarin, I'm sorry. Jose's worked for us for going on 2 years now as a part-timer, and was at the top of our hiring list, and recently went through, the actual interview process again with the Board of Safety, and the Board of Safety selected, like I said, him and Colin, and, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? He speaks fluent, Spanish.
Okay.
Which, has helped us in many cases already, out in the
Sure,
city
yeah.
on stuff. I mean,
I'm
it's
sure,
really
yeah.
nice to have, a guy that can speak like that, so, we do have a lot of Spanish-speaking people that live in our community, and sometimes we have a language barrier, and it's nice that he jumps in and, there's nothing worse than being out there and not knowing what a patient really needs, and it's hard, so.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jose.
Thank you, Chief. I've been a firefighter since 2020. I started out as a volunteer in Griffith. Currently, I still live in Griffith. Right now, I'm finishing up my college years. This is my last semester at Indiana University, Northwest in Gary.
Good for you.
A degree in criminal justice.
Good for you.
I don't really plan on pursuing a career in criminal justice. I obviously want to pursue a career here with the fire service. Other than that, I've been working here at Cedar Lake for a year and a half almost. It's grown on me. I love it here. I love the atmosphere. I love the coworkers. Everybody, the townspeople are very, very nice to me. So I would love to work here for a long, soon future.
Very good. Very good, thank you very much, yeah.
So, what we're asking for tonight is, for the council to, approve them to start the PERF process. Once they start the PERF process, they will be set up with, Jennifer's office to start the onboarding process as well, as far as hiring. Once we hear from PERF and they go through the whole process, then, they'll be back here to be sworn in full-time. We will be going through the orientation process with, Colin and trying to get him on the schedule to do some part-time stuff with us, because we really need the help in, on the schedule, because we're down 4 people. We have 1 out with a back injury, so we can get him plugged in here pretty soon to start helping. And then the next on the list is you have 3 people that we brought to you to approve for part-time. Typically, the Board of Safety handles that, but I wanted you guys to make that approval as well. These 3 that the Board of Safety interviewed and selected also are taking the place of 3 part-timers that have left us over the past 6-8 months.
Okay.
To include Jose, who was a part-timer, is now going to be full-time, so, who picked up a lot of shifts for us, so now, we're gonna be hurting without him, so.
Okay, that's Megan and Ethan and
Yes,
Roderick, Chief?
yes,
Okay.
yep.
Very good. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Carnahan,
That approved subject to the PERF.
subject to PERF, sure.
Correct.
For the full-time, part-time would start as soon as we could get them through Jennifer's process.
We're only
Office
talking about,
process.
we're only talking about the full-time right now, though, right? On this agenda?
I think the other 3 are listed in B, so I think we're
Right.
talking about both. Is that,
Item A and B.
was that your idea, Bob, when you made
Yes,
the motion?
with the PERF approval.
Part-timers won't be going to PERF.
Right.
No, just,
No,
That's
no.
why they're
just
separate
the
on
new
this
one,
agenda.
the full-time.
Can we just approve A and then approve B?
We can do it that way, sure,
Okay.
yeah. If it makes it
That would clean it
easier.
up, right?
Yeah.
That's
All
what I'm
right,
trying to do.
motion to approve the hiring of, the 2 full-time employees
Motion by Mr. Carnahan,
with PERF.
I'll second.
second by Julie. Roll call?
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Nick Recupido?
Yes.
Ralph Miller?
Yes.
Colleen Scheven?
Yes.
Richard Sharp?
Yes. Motion approved 6-0. Now to do the B, part-time hires. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the 3 part-time hires.
Motion by Julie,
Second?
second by Bob. Roll call.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Nick Recupido?
Yes.
Ralph Miller?
Yes.
Colleen Scheven?
Yes.
Richard Sharp?
Yes, motion carries 6-0.
Thank you, council.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Number 6, consider the 2024 engagement letter with Boyes, McKinney, and Evans LLP. David, you want to?
I can. This is the engagement proposal of both McKinney, our utility attorneys in Indianapolis, for lobbying services for the town in combination with a number of other units and governmental municipal utilities for the short session in Indianapolis. The primary focus of the lobbyist effort here will be to monitor and be vigilant over all of the various utility circumstances, laws, and proposals that are engaged in the General Assembly. It is a short session, but they still are working.
Yep.
The amount is $250, I think, a month.
$250 what?
$250 a month for the calendar year. I've reviewed everything, and if you deem this is what you want to do, then it works, and it's acceptable legally. If not, that's your call.
What kind of correspondence do we get from this firm throughout the year?
At least monthly, they issue reports about their activities, who they're talking to, who they're dealing with, but I don't have that exact detail, Nick.
But we'll get something from them.
Regularly.
Okay.
Remember, we've done this in the past, and we did it over utility issues. Barnes and Thornburg handled those items. The reason Bose McKinney is here tonight before you is because they were working with us on understanding the PFAS class action litigation. You'll recall that was briefly reported by Chris Salatis to you a month or two ago. It has been determined, and we've concluded that Cedar Lake should probably not be involved in that class action at this point in time because of the liability exposure in remote type circumstances, but the exposure the town would have to indemnification of claimants, we do not want to be indemnifying anybody. So monitoring that litigation at the same time because of the legislative impacts and activities related to that class action will also be part of what this effort will be on the lobby.
This is for one calendar year?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
1 year.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Do we have a motion to approve Bose, McKinney, and Evans for the 2024 year?
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Motion by Julie.
I'll second.
Second by Nick. Roll call, Jen.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julia Vera?
Yes.
Nick Recupido?
Yes.
Ralph Miller?
Yes.
Colleen Sheehan?
Yes.
Richard Sharp?
Yes, motion carries 6-0. Move to reports, Town Council, Mr. Carnahan.
All right. For council members, and I guess anybody from staff, the Chamber of Commerce is having their Christmas gathering at Hanover Township Trustee's office this Thursday at 6:30. So you're invited. All they ask is you bring a side dish.
That's this Thursday, Bob?
Yes.
Okay.
And then...
What time?
6:30.
Okay.
PM.
Thank you.
All right, then I've got a text message here. Bob, this is Aaron Shirkey from State Farm. Dennis from Dragabob's, and I would like to formally request a crosswalk from Bartlett Wahlberg Park across Lakeshore Drive due to the north side of Dragabob's due to combined increase in traffic at the park as well as his shop. My office there has been a lot of pedestrian activity crossing the street. So he's requesting for a crosswalk to be put there somewhere by Bartlett Wahlberg Park.
I see, okay.
It's a text message I got from Aaron Shirley.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So I guess that's,
Yeah, we can,
that'd be about a $5,500 cost, correct, Tim?
Yeah, about, it was, I think it was 5,600 with the signage and the striping, and that was without, obviously, the flashing lights, but for the signage, the Eagles and the Hunleys one did a 50-50 deal to get theirs put in.
Okay. So if we did that, maybe we could ask
I don't
them
know.
for 50-50 too.
I think we should ask them for 50-50, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know where the funds would come from, Jennifer?
Traditionally, we've never had a budget, we've never really discussed a crosswalk program, but for the most recent one, local road and streets, I believe, is where we paid for it out of. We had to transfer some money around, but I believe that is where we paid for it out of.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Bob, could you ask Mr. Shirkey to get you something in writing?
To present?
Yeah, your phone can become a public record in perpetuity.
All right,
I'm not certain we want that.
Yeah. All right, I'll request a written copy of something to present to
That'd be helpful for the public record.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bob. Anything else, did you?
No, that is all I can think of.
Okay.
Wish everybody, well, no, we're not there yet.
We're not quite there.
A little early.
We're close.
One more.
Yeah. Any other town council members?
No, sir.
Okay. Town attorney?
Briefly, Chief Wilkening and I met with Township Trustee Kevin Toth about 2 weeks ago, Todd?
Yeah.
Thereabouts, worked through the language of a proposed agreement for fire services to the township in 2024. That's been done, I sent it down here, so you have it, or Chris has it, somebody has it. And the trustee has asked when this can be considered. I've advised him, either Todd or I have that authority. We just cleaned up the document, the understandings that we thought both the town and the township had, and we sent the document over to them, so.
Okay, so we'll wait maybe next meeting when Chris is back and
Yeah, that would
everybody's had a chance?
that'd be a good follow-up.
Okay.
But the
Okay.
document's done, the meeting was done, and
Very good.
it went well.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Clerk treasurer?
Nothing further this evening.
Thank you, Jen. Town manager is not here. Did he give you anything to?
He apologizes for not being able to attend tonight. He's not quite feeling up to himself.
Yeah, understood.
And we do want to let you know, we've been getting a lot of calls about the town planner calendar that have been here. I've had several calls in our office. I don't have any information on that. Typically, the chamber gets them, and then I believe.
Town hall gets them too.
And then, do they bring, okay.
Yeah,
And then we get it, but we have not heard anything on it yet. And
They've been asking the chamber since November, and they don't know when they're gonna get them.
But I will email the town planner, the gal from town planner tomorrow and see if I can't get a firm answer.
Okay, good. Thank you, Margaret.
You're welcome.
Director of Operations, Mr. Kubiak?
We have troubles with another lift station, lift station 13 over on Woodland, over there off of Parish, just east of Parish. It's on, both pumps went out at once, of course, on a Friday, which is typical.
Yeah.
So we have our bypass pump in there, and everything is going accordingly, so we need, that's gonna, as soon as we finish up the one by Lemon Lake, that is the one for this year on the list to be rebuilt. It's one of the old metal ones that's just dilapidated and ready to go. So we're actually ordering new pumps for them and getting a couple fittings to make the new pumps work well for the near future until the other one's finished and keeping everything rolling. So just a little hiccup, but the guys got we have the materials to do the bypassing and do all that stuff.
Good.
In-house, so it's, it is what it is. It was caught fairly quickly, and it's operating on bypass, so that's all I got for now.
Okay. Thank you, Tim. Police Department, Chief?
The only thing we really have to report was, the Taylor Ice Festival this last weekend went really well.
Good.
a really low turnout on Friday due to the weather.
Yeah.
But Saturday, I think we're estimated, or counted somewhere near 1,200 or 1,300, wasn't it, Colleen?
Wow.
Something like that.
Wow.
Really good. People really enjoyed it. We had a lot of good feedback. The bus transportation worked very well, for the festival. I think people really enjoyed it, so we didn't have any real issues. I know that it was asked, could we do the bus transportation for Summerfest? That is not possible, so.
Okay.
Yeah, that could never happen, so.
The town gave, the park department $20,000 to help, make that thing happen.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you that it's
Yeah.
not possible to have Summerfest have transportation like that. We would have to have, about, I don't know, 30 or 40 buses. There's just too many people that come.
I understand, yeah.
But the festival went very well.
That's what I
Very
heard.
nice, very well
Yeah, that's what I
attended.
heard there, yeah.
And the public really enjoyed it, they really did. I don't remember how many vendors did we have at,
I don't remember at this point, I think a few didn't show up due to weather, but there was a decent amount.
Yeah, probably,
Yeah.
I would guesstimate 20 to 25, maybe 30.
Yeah, 25, 30,
So-
at least. Entertainment the whole time, I mean, it's
Yeah.
good. Everybody really enjoyed it.
The Parks Director did a fantastic job, the help from the, input from the civilians, like, where was it? From the,
Farmer's market?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yeah, thank you. Kelly, did really good. Colleen's input was, awesome, and so it went very well.
And I also volunteered unexpectedly at the Samoan table. I was giving out marshmallows, graham crackers, and Hershey chocolate, and then we ran out of graham crackers, and then we ran out of chocolates, and then I was just giving them marshmallows.
Okay.
They were all excited about that.
Next time you volunteer, don't eat them.
I didn't eat one. I can't.
I know you can't,
But it went well.
Good, sounds like it, Chief. Very good. That's a good report, thank you. Fire department?
I only have a few things. This is in reference to apparatus and, a new purchase that the fire department has. We recently received through our Firefighters Association a new, tool for fire prevention for kids. It's a bouncy house, a big bouncy house that has like a village with an educational process built into it, so we just received it. We were supposed to have it before fire prevention was on back order, so we'll be able to take that anywhere we want to take it to different events, church events or, any type of public gathering where we could do some educational stuff with it as well. It's pretty neat. The second thing was our ladder truck was out for about a month getting a motor rebuilt due to a blown head gasket on the truck. The rumor has it on the streets that the truck is back in order and it's working, and that's a good rumor, but that motor is really running real well. We're going through a break-in process on that truck. Prior to that, it didn't have any mechanical issues at all. This was kind of out of the blue that it happened to us. It was coming back from a call when it blew the head gasket. We had no leaks, no oil problems. We had no issues with the truck prior. It was just one of those things that happened. The truck is an older truck, and it was typically older trucks. The apparatus we have are aging, hence the reason why we're getting some new stuff here in the future. We also have an issue with our ambulance. The suspension will not balance out and equal out. It keeps having a problem with the air ride system in the back of the number 2 ambulance that we currently have, so it's being outfitted with a new rear suspension, which is quite costly as well, around $10,000 to $12,000. I can't remember what the actual, we'll have an estimate once they get into it, so that's getting done this week. The rest of the trucks have been PM'd for the preventive maintenance for the winter, and we're just praying that we have a mellow winter, so that,
A mellow winter.
we don't tear anything up and put anything in.
I'll pray with you for
Yes.
that.
So, the winter's very hard on our stuff, so, like, problems, it is what it is. It's just like Public Works. J&M Equipment, by the way, is the ones, I did have somebody ask me who rebuilt the motor in the ladder truck. It's J&M Equipment. J&M does work for us as well as Public Works, so.
Question on the bounce house, will that be outside?
Yes, it can be.
will be secured, very well, so the wind can't pick it up like I've seen some of them on the news who have been picked up and blown away?
Our goal is to not let any children fly away in the bounce house. We're gonna, yeah, if we have to fly it to a fire truck, we will.
All right,
Yeah.
and also the ladder truck, I saw it out on the road yesterday.
You'll see it going down to the river and back probably for the next couple of weeks.
And
Maybe
I
break in.
stopped in there at the station when they had the cab up
Yeah.
and was talking to them, and they were telling me what the problems were.
Yep. So, it's back in service and it's doing well. To the tune of $30,000.
Of course, yeah.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Chief.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Written communication, anything left, Margaret?
No.
Okay, okay. Public comment? Public comment?
Hi, my name's Angie Michaelajczyk. I live at 12806 Lee Court. The reason I'm here tonight, I didn't expect to be here, so I'm sorry I came in late. I received a notice, let me back up. In April, I came in front of the Plan Commission regarding some movement on the property behind me that's been vacant for many years. And I was told that if anything was going to take place on the property behind me, that I would get a letter and be able to respond within 10 days. Therefore, recently, I have it all written down, but recently I received a notice to object to a variance that a builder behind my home is asking for. And I have until Friday to turn in the written objections. However, I was just at home, I was trying to watch this meeting online, and I noticed that they put it on the Plan Commission hearing for tomorrow. So my written objections I brought, and I would like to deliver them possibly to Mr. Cardigan. That's why I'm here.
Mr. President, don't give them to Bob. Don't give them to Margaret.
Yes, they will go to Margaret.
Here. Tomorrow is just a work session for the Plan Commission, so that's why you were notified for the next meeting.
Okay, well, I see the developers on this agenda, so.
Are we talking about the Plan Commission or the BZA?
The BZA is on December 14th, and that was the one I was prepared to speak about, but it's on the agenda for tomorrow for the
So,
Plan Commission.
That's a work session. If they have when they have a public hearing, that will be on the the third Wednesday of the month. The first Wednesday of the month are only work sessions, and you are welcome to come, and there's public comment at the end of the meeting, and you can submit something for public comment for that.
Okay,
But
I would
that's
like to give it to you now.
That's not a public hearing, and yes, I will give it to the planning director.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're
Thank you very much. I didn't understand how that worked, though. Wouldn't I be notified first, like I was told in April?
So you are required, as an adjacent property owner, to be notified by mail 10 days prior to the public hearing.
The public hearing.
She'll get another notification.
If there's a public hearing through the Plan Commission. for
The public hearing, which will be December...
December 4th.
Oh, the 14th.
It's December 14th, and what's today, December 5th?
Well, the BZA is December 14th.
Okay, there's a lot of confusion. I'm just going to turn to my papers, and you guys can all figure it out.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's fine. Thank you.
You will take care of it for you.
Yeah.
We're just as confused as you.
Okay, thank you.
Public comment, any additional
Mr. President.
I'm sorry, Dave, yes.
I'm alerted to this problem parcel and circumstance, and will be attentive to that with the Plan Commission and/or BZA.
Okay,
I'm not certain why both are involved yet,
okay, I understand.
but
Okay.
it'll all be ferreted out either at the next meeting tomorrow night or at the BZA,
BZA.
if there's a published notice of public hearing.
Got it.
And I don't know that yet either.
Okay. Thank you, Dave. Thank you. Any additional public comment? Public comment?
Mr. President? There is one online, if I may.
Okay.
I'd just like to recognize your haircut.
Andrea, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, you can go forward with your public comment.
Hi, it's Andrea Fusco, 7320 Constitution Avenue. I'm up in St. Charles babysitting my grandson right now.
Okay.
I'm getting a lot of text messages saying I better get online. So I understand that they're building the town hall next door to me, which I think is great, but I just like to know where I stand as far as my house.
Well, those were very preliminary plans, first of all, so that's, Dave, you wanna elaborate on that?
She owns her house, and her house is
Yeah.
not involved in this
No.
project.
Absolutely.
It may have an adjacency by where it's built, but her house remains.
Yeah.
We are not taking your house.
No, your house is your house.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Bob Barney,
I love being neighbors with y'all, so I just wanna make sure.
Okay, all right, very good. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Any additional public comment? Public comment, public comment? Seeing none, this meeting's adjourned. Next meeting is Tuesday,